headlines of VTV News. Party General Secretary affirms due attention to artists and writers. Vietnam ups its diplomacy ready for a new era. And later on in our world news, South Korea review plans for special inspection on B-73-800 fleet.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. On Monday, a conference was held at the Party Central Committee headquarters to announce the Politburo's decision regarding the functions, taxed powers, organizational structure, and working relationships of 13 party committees, party units, the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front, and socio-political organizations at the central level. Party General Secretary To Lam presented this decision to leaders of 13 agencies: the Central Organization Committee, Central Inspection Committee, Central Internal Affairs Committee, Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, Nhân dân Newspaper, Communist Review, Truth National Political Publishing House, Central Office of the Vietnam Fatherland Front, Vietnam General Confederation of Labor, Central Office of the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union, Central Office of Vietnam Women's Union, Central Office of Vietnam Farmers Union, and the Central Office of Vietnam's Veterans Association. General Secretary To Lam called on these 13 agencies to demonstrate determination, urgency, and responsibility in reorganizing the agencies of the government, the National Assembly, and localities. Party General Secretary To Lam met with artists and writers representatives from across the country in Hanoi on Monday, affirming the special recognition of the party and state. More on the following.
Expressing his delight at meeting the artists and writers, the Party General Secretary underscored the indispensable role of culture in national development. He affirmed their core role in developing a socialist-oriented cultural sector, enriching people's spiritual lives, and enhancing the nation's long-standing and distinctive cultural identity. He stressed that Vietnam is standing at a historic threshold, ready to enter a new era of development, prosperity, and advancement. He continued that the party, state, and nation place their hope and trust in the strong transformation and great contributions of artists and writers during this new revolutionary phase. The party chief called for the development of a cohort of artists and writers, steadfast revolutionary soldiers on the party's ideological and cultural front.
Literature and the arts must serve and benefit the people. Life is not only about material needs, but also requires a flourishing spiritual existence. Building a foundation for literature and the arts' national development is crucial under the party's leadership. Artists must be steadfast revolutionary soldiers on the cultural and ideological front.
The party chief called for a vigorous renewal in managing, developing, and promoting talent.
Cultural and artistic activities must be directed clearly and aligned with socio-economic development. Policies on recognizing and supporting artists should inspire trust and solidarity within the artistic community while fostering societal enthusiasm.
The Party General Secretary urged the Party Central Committee's Secretariat and Commission for Information and Education, the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, and relevant agencies to timelessly provide consultations on the implementation of the 2025-2035 National Target Program for Cultural Development and review a Politburo resolution on the further development of literature and arts in the new era. He also suggested the issuance of a national strategy for literature and arts in the new era.
On the evening of December the 30th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with Lao Deputy Prime Minister Salumsay Komasith. During the meeting, the Prime Minister suggested that both sides direct their relevant agencies to coordinate closely in preparing for the upcoming 47th meeting of the Vietnam-Laos Intergovernmental Committee. He also conveyed the greetings of Vietnam's leaders to the senior leaders of Laos. The Prime Minister emphasized the need to effectively implement high-level agreements between the two countries, including the outcomes of meetings between the Politburos and directives from the General Secretaries of both nations. He proposed strengthening comprehensive economic connectivity, particularly in railway and road infrastructure, fostering business linkages, and exploring the development of a cross-border economic zone. Deputy Prime Minister Salim Say Komasit affirmed that Lao agencies should work closely with Vietnam to ensure the success of the 47th meeting and promote the effective implementation of cooperative agreements, while Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính received visiting Lao Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Salim Say Komasit. National Assembly Chairman CH Tang attended a ceremony on Sunday evening to announce the National Assembly's resolution to establish Huế as a centrally run city and the National Assembly Standing Committee's resolution on its district and commune level administrative units for the 2023 to 2025 period. Speaking at the ceremony, the senior legislator stated that Huế City has always held a particularly important role and position throughout Vietnam's history. This city is rich in history and culture and the only place in Vietnam and Southeast Asia with 8 heritage elements recognized by UNESCO. The senior leader expressed his belief that the city will continue to bring its potential, strengths, and resources into full play, embrace innovation, and boldly pursue breakthroughs to become a peaceful, livable, centrally run city, a green, modern, smart, and happy Huế. During a meeting with Chinese Ambassador He Wei on Monday, Politburo member, Secretary of the Party's Central Committee, and head of the Central Committee's Commission for Internal Affairs Funding Check reaffirmed Vietnam's commitment to fostering friendly relations with China. He emphasized that developing the Vietnam-China Comprehensive Strategic Cooperative Partnership remains a top priority in Vietnam's foreign policy agenda. The Vietnamese official called on the Chinese ambassador to work closely on promoting the effective implementation of high-level agreements and shared commitments. The Chinese ambassador highlighted the significant progress in building the China-Vietnam community of a shared future under the leadership of both parties. He hailed the impressive $250 billion in bilateral trade this year and the rising number of Chinese investors in Vietnam as tangible examples of the strong and practical cooperation between the two nations. 2024 has been an impressive year for Vietnam's foreign policy, promoting multilateralism and actively participating in addressing global challenges. Additionally, over the past year, Vietnam has upgraded to a comprehensive strategic partnership with 3 countries and signed numerous cooperation agreements. These achievements once again underline the country's reputation and position on the international stage, creating positive momentum for Vietnam to enter a new era of national development.
With new initiatives and visions, Vietnam's multilateral diplomacy in 2024 has left significant impressions on important regional and global forums. With the country's new strength and position, experts assess that Vietnam is well equipped to participate in shaping multilateral mechanisms. It is also well placed to play a sectoral leadership role in addressing common issues, especially global challenges such as digital transformation, green transformation, energy transition, fostering innovation, and creating new growth drivers.
I believe Vietnam is now more ready to suggest its own initiatives and its own vision, how Vietnam sees the solution of these global issues.
In addition to multilateral mechanisms, Vietnam has made significant strides in bilateral diplomacy over the past year, upgrading relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership with Australia, France, and Malaysia.
France has become the first country in the EU to establish a comprehensive strategic partnership with Vietnam, based on 3 pillars: partnership for sovereignty, sustainable development, and innovation. We are ready to use our influence at the UN and the EU to share with Vietnam for its benefit.
The areas where Vietnam needs to do more, such as education, digitization, green energy transition, the processing of rare earths and other important strategic minerals. These are all areas where Australia is actually quite good.
In 2024, Vietnam intensified the implementation of international agreements and commitments, signing over 170 cooperation agreements across various sectors. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has repeatedly emphasized the importance of promoting new growth drivers and making breakthroughs in strategic areas. As a result, Vietnam's economic diplomacy in 2024 has leveraged global economic shaping trends, expanding cooperation in high-tech industries, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence.
Vietnam is accepted by all sides. Vietnam is accepted as a neutral partner, as a neutral business and political partner.
In 2024, Vietnam's social affairs were carried out proactively, achieving many substantial outcomes as a result. Vietnam's role in multilateral forums, the strategic diversification of bilateral partners, and dynamic economic diplomacy have created favorable momentum for Vietnam to enter a new and growing era.
Coming up next, the national program to eliminate temporary and dilapidated houses bring joy to people. And Hanoi aims to attract high-spending tourists in 2025. You're watching VTV News. Families in difficult circumstances have happily received new houses in many rural areas. These are beautiful gestures from the state and the people. Thanks to the national program to eliminate temporary and dilapidated houses, many poor households have a decent place to welcome the upcoming Tết holidays.
In just a few days, Luan's new house will reach its final stages of construction. Her family's dream of having a new house to celebrate Tết has finally come true.
The state supported us with this new house. I'm so happy. We now have a decent house to live in.
The community's support is essential for building houses. In addition to the $200 provided by the state, relatives and neighbors joined in the construction. Two had a nasty accident years ago and is now moving to a new house. The state's support motivates him and his wife to work hard to build a better life.
The state supported us with about $3,100. My relatives lent me a bit more. We will cover the remaining money for the house.
New houses have given families the confidence to tackle difficult circumstances.
When Tết comes, people will be happy living in their new houses. The commune's authorities also encourage them to work hard and gradually stabilize their lives.
A new house changes the life of a low-income family. It also symbolizes solidarity and the spirit of sharing among Vietnamese people.
A campaign titled Giving is Forever was launched in Ho Chi Minh City on December the 30th to encourage the public to register for tissue and organ donation. During the launch event, leaders from the Ministry of Health, city officials, religious leaders, key opinion leaders, and registered donors heard about the life-saving impact of organ and tissue donations, which have saved numerous lives. In 2024, 39 organ donations from brain-dead donors were made, the highest number to date, but still far below demand, leaving many patients waiting for transplants. For many years, a woman in Ho Chi Minh City has offered a free yoga class for children with special needs, helping them improve their mental and physical health through yoga practices. The class is not only a supportive learning environment, but also a means for special needs children to develop their social skills.
Full body stretching and turnaround exercises are simple movements for most ordinary people. But they take a long time for these special needs children to learn. This boy, accompanied by his mother, attends the weekly yoga class. The class has helped him improve his health and social skills, thereby boosting his confidence.
My son has attended this class for nearly a year. Previously, he had persistent sleep problems. The class has improved his sleep quality.
Quach Nguyen, an aerobics and gymnastics coach in Ho Chi Minh City, runs the free yoga class every Saturday. In the past 2 years, over 40 special needs children of all ages have attended the class.
Special needs children have difficulty lifting their arms and legs. Initially, they struggled with simple exercises, so I taught them step by step. The children gradually got used to certain movements. I'm very happy. I've been practicing yoga for nearly 2 years. I have new friends and my health is very good now.
Xuan is also a mother of a son with special needs. The 16-year-old teen exhibits childlike behaviors due to his cognitive limitations. Her empathy and love prompted Xuan to open a free yoga class for children like her son. With her love, encouragement and support, the class is a nurturing and supportive environment for special needs children to develop and unlock their full potential in the future.
Digital preservation has emerged as a crucial method for storing, protecting, and promoting cultural heritage sites. Vietnam is home to more than 30 UNESCO-recognized heritage sites and thousands of cultural and intangible heritage locations. Digitizing these sites would enhance accessibility, strengthen conservation efforts, and enable sustainable promotion of their value. Many areas in the country, including Quảng Nam province, have already begun this digital transformation.
QR codes have been installed at various locations within the My Sơn heritage site. There are around 40 stories tied to the site's history, culture, art, and architecture, as well as multimedia images. Additionally, the site is equipped with a mapped system for navigation.
Now, with multiple language options available, it is much easier for visitors to navigate and explore My Sơn on their own.
We mainly cater to individual travelers, selling tickets through online channels or platforms like Klook.
Visitors to the My Sơn temples and towers can take advantage of several technologies such as online ticket sales, QR code ticket validation, automatic guides, and information updates on Google Maps, fan pages, YouTube, and the official website.
With just one smartphone, visitors can learn about various tourist attractions in Quảng Nam, sparking their curiosity and interest to visit the province.
Through the VR360 virtual reality website, visitors can explore and interact with the heritage site from anywhere in the world. This technology brings new vitality to the site while making it more accessible and engaging.
On the morning of December the 30th, Lam Dong province welcomed its 10 millionth visitor of the year. The milestone visitor was randomly selected from passengers on a flight from Hanoi to Đà Lạt. The event aims to promote the province destination brand as Lam Dong safe, civilized, and friendly, with a vision of making Lam Dong, particularly Đà Lạt, one of the premier travel destinations in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. This year, Lam Dong's tourism revenue is estimated to reach 18 trillion Vietnamese dongs, approximately $705.6 million. In 2024, Hanoi was one of Vietnam's leading tourism hubs, contributing significantly to the development of the Red River Delta's tourism sector. Local authorities have implemented strategies to boost international tourist arrivals as the capital aims to attract 30 million tourists by 2025.
The number of tourist arrivals in Hanoi has exceeded the initial target set at the beginning of this year. Nearly 7 million tourists visited the capital city in 2024, an increase of more than 40% compared to last year.
The history of Vietnam, and that's why we are here in Hanoi.
Since Hanoi developed nighttime tourism activities, local authorities have expanded more public spaces and organized hundreds of cultural events all year round, thereby tackling seasonality issues in tourism. Hanoi authorities have mapped out plans to promote the local culture.
Despite the increase in the number of tourist arrivals, tourist spending remains low due to a lack of diverse tourism services.
Enhance the city's tourism brand and improve competitiveness in the global tourism industry. To achieve this goal, Hanoi prioritizes the development of high-end tourism to increase tourist spending and length of stay.
Our ultimate goal is to attract high-spending tourists. Therefore, Hanoi needs to improve the quality of tourism products and services and upgrade its accommodation facilities.
Hanoi aims to host 30 million tourists in 2025 and generate more than $3.3 billion in total tourism revenue.
Coming up next in our world news, South Korea review plans for special inspection on B737-800 fleet. And Georgia's political climate gets tenser. South Korea has reviewed plans to conduct a special inspection of the country's entire airline operation after 179 people were killed in one of the worst plane crashes in South Korea's history. South Korea's Transport Ministry said on Monday it would conduct safety inspections of all of the 101 Boeing 737-800 jetliners operated by the country's airlines, as well as the broader review into safety standards at Jeju Air, including its compliance with operational records, inspections and maintenance conducted before and after flights. The B737-800 is widely used by South Korean low-cost carriers, including Jeju Air, the biggest operator with 39 jets. Many families gathered at the airport on Monday waiting for their loved ones to be officially identified and for the bodies of their relatives to be released. People laid flowers at a memorial center that was set up in the southern South Korean city of Mourn to remember the 179 people killed in the plane crash.
John Jae-young keeps replaying the video of a plane with his daughter and other 180 people on board slamming into a wall and bursting into flames at the Nguyen International Airport. John's daughter Suk was on the way home after traveling with her friends to Bangkok for Christmas holidays. Her death devastated the family, leaving her husband and a teen daughter behind.
When I saw the accident video, it seemed like it was out of control when the plane entered the airport. The pilots probably had no choice but to do it. My daughter, who is only in her mid-40s, ended up like this. This is unbelievable.
Over 3,000 kilometers from South Korea, in Udon Thani, relatives of Jongluk Duangmani, one of 2 Thai victims in the Jeju Air jet crash, mourned their loss. Boon Chue Duangmani, the victim's father, recalled feeling a sense of unease when neighbors showed him the news.
I can only accept it, make peace with it. When I think about it, I remind myself that it was an accident. No matter what I do, my daughter won't come back. I just hope the government can provide some help. I want to bring my daughter's body back home for a proper religious ceremony.
Investigators have been examining bird strikes and weather conditions as possible factors in the crash. Experts say many questions remain unanswered, including why the twin-engine Boeing 737-800 appeared to be traveling so fast and why its landing gear was not down when it skidded along the runway and crashed into a wall.
Georgia's political climate is getting tenser as Mikhail Gavelasvili was sworn in as president on Sunday amid protest and his predecessor's refusal to stand aside. Outgoing President Salom Zurabishvili said on Sunday that she was leaving the residence but remained the legitimate office holder. Clashes broke out between police and protesters outside the parliament building where the country's new president was sworn in. Opponents have been protesting since October over the disputed parliamentary election. Mass street protests gripped Georgia on November the 28th when the ruling Georgian Dream Party said it would not seek the opening of EU accession talks until 2028. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned that the current protests would set the stage for a color revolution in Georgia. The number of refugees worldwide has exceeded 122 million in 2024, surpassing last year's figures, according to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or UNHCR. The figures were described as alarming, as behind every statistics is a person seeking safety and a future. According to UNHCR's annual report, at the end of 2023, an estimated 117.4 million people worldwide were forcibly displaced due to the ongoing conflict in Sudan. Meanwhile, the situations in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and several other countries have further contributed to the rise in refugee numbers. Additionally, the conflict in Gaza and Lebanon has led to the forced displacement of more than 1.7 million people. Forced displacement is a consequence of the failure to uphold peace and security. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.